Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Spendthrift Podcast. So, as usual, straight to coin watch. Bitcoin hovering around the 4.5k. Will probably not hit a stable 5k until the possible fork happens in November. I definitely highly anticipate that it'll just not come close to being stable around 5k. Just this 4.5 to 4k, somewhere from 4 to 5 basically, for until the uncertainty is clear and kind of the sides of the 2x debate have withered into dust. Bitcoin Cash, I expect that one to actually also suffer from whatever the outcome is from this next fork, because that kind of proves or disproves that forks are good or bad ideas, at least with Bitcoin, depending on how this next one goes. Ethereum is looking for the upgrade soon, the Byzantium update, I believe. Look out for that. I don't know how that much that'll affect old Ethereum's pricing, but it will do something. Litecoin is just feeling the effects of the weekend market and the general kind of slow rise of Bitcoin to 5k. I do think Litecoin is probably the best coins to spend things on. Like, seems like the best for transactions now. Monero, there's an article about Monero in the news, so we'll talk about Monero more later. The Neo completely rebound from the China crisis. Yeah, Neo's rebounded from the China crisis. Not really feeling the effects of it compared to like OMG or QTOM. Those two really haven't rebounded from what they were at the peak of the bull market. But Neo's back, and I anticipate Neo to be even more in the future. How much, not sure, but I don't think 36 to 40 will hold Neo for long. And I'm still looking at Chainlink until next week, I believe, is when the conference happens, and see where that stands. But so far, it's still looking pretty good. On for the news. Amazon Cloud access was broken into. Two companies had their Amazon Cloud broken into, and it was one was a security firm that also have a news for, which was a Gemalto. Yeah. So them and one other company had their cloud access broken into just for mining bitcoins. They didn't think to steal any data. No, they just went in and told the servers to execute a script to mine bitcoins. To think about it, this was kind of like an oversight from the people who told it to do that, and they should have probably been mining alts. But whatever. A survey from actually talk about Gemalto and the other news. They are teaming up with Ledger to court enterprises with the new cryptocurrency wallet. So, as you probably know, these hardware wallets are pretty much the thing to use now if you're trying to be super serious or have a decent holding in crypto. New enterprise wallets that are probably hardware based and bit. I don't really know how they kind of structure it for big businesses, but I imagine that it would have to be something that's just as protected, but a bit more straightforward and available for multiple people to use rather than just one person. But on to the next topic. A survey of medical group executives show that many of them see a promising role for blockchain technology in healthcare. Blockchain technology in healthcare is something pretty talked about. There's been a few coins already that was relating to it, but healthcare is definitely something that's a slow adoption. But I anticipate blockchain will probably come in the form of some kind of recording only at first and slowly find its way into more important parts of healthcare, like the more monitoring, maybe with smart contracts or something like that. Next up, this headline, I literally only put it there because it was really a segue for me to talk about the overall concept, which was, the headline was, Arrow aims to become Monero's become a Monero first darknet market rather than relying on Bitcoin. As I was saying either last week or the week before that, Monero really is shaping up to be the coin of the dark web. I'm adamant about this just because Monero's ability to actually become anonymous from the tumbling. Pretty much only the other kind of anon coins have that capability. I think Zcash has something similar, but I'm pretty sure Monero's is better development and will probably lead the charge for dark web coin, and we probably will see a lot of legal cases in the future where Monero and not Bitcoin was the kind of tool of use. So, on to the next one. 2x or no 2x? So, I was going to write an article, but I'm a busy university student. So, I found an article that very much covers the main points of what you need to know about this little debate. The only thing I didn't really care for is, understandably, it didn't kind of draw the sides of who is on which side, but it definitely puts out the points that each side makes, and I think it's a pretty great article for you to make up your mind of what side do you support in this little fork debate. So check out the Steemit post for the link to that article about why or why not the reasons for a hard fork on Bitcoin. I'll still come out with that article about my opinions on why a hardcore fork is suggested, but that should be out Friday after exams, so look for that. And next topic, Air France testing blockchain for supply chain tracking. This is definitely one of the uses I imagine blockchain to be for supply chain. For this Air France case, it was maintenance wise. I anticipate blockchain technology to become a pretty important role for sourcing and just vendor management in the future. There's a lot of supply chain related opportunities using blockchain. Just It's actually an insane amount of applications that blockchain can be used, because beyond just quality management, just better tracking and better data, a lot of processes that can be improved by having a robust technology like that. And the final article today is how Russia opposes extradition of Russian BTC operator from Greece to the U.S. I feel like it's kind of a political move more than anything, but this should be noted that this guy was Russian in Greece and being extradited to America. He's not even American, but he's an operator for the Russian exchange, BTC-E, being sent to America for a crime. So all these people who believe that they will not feel the wrath of some kind of American institution, whether it's the SEC or FTC, I think this kind of proves that if you're dealing with enough money, America will arrest you no matter what's your nationality, because chances are you only need to affect one American for them to use it as an excuse to come after you. And that really segues into this little discussion I'll have. I'm kind of changing it up today. This last little discussion is a Reddit post that I saw calling out a prominent name as a fraud. I'm sure a decent amount of people have heard him. I'm not really gonna call the name out. You can just read the post itself. But after I read it really got me thinking. I definitely don't want to be anything like these guys. They're described in the comments of the post. And I'm not really directing my content in that way. So there's going to be some changes within me. Mostly just watch out for that. But that's not really the point I'm making. The point I'm making is people will probably face justice, you could say, for any kind of backroom deals, fraud, anything that's not really legal per se or ethical. It just depends on how much money they end up causing someone to lose or generate from themselves. Because as with the other Russian operator, he was arrested for money laundering, I believe. But there's other violations that could happen. For example, I believe there's one scenario where Instagram models were arrested or fined for not disclosing their relationship with any kind of ad. That will definitely happen in the crypto space, especially since this is probably way more money at stake than Instagram models. And then two, the obvious SEC arresting issuers of ICOs that just turn out to be frauds. I mean, the SEC chairman, or at least one of them, even stated that he's confident that he will be able to bag anybody who's frauding investors in the crypto space. So if there's any kind of organization, individual, or anything like that that you feel isn't doing what they need to be doing, I would definitely suggest that kind of point them out to the community, maybe file a complaint here or there, then they will definitely feel something. Maybe not soon, but eventually things catch up to you. So if you want to take anything I've said out of that little spiel, just take that. You will have everything you've done catch up to you eventually. It's actually probably impossible now to get away with doing too much if you're interacting with people around the world like the crypto environment is. So just try to play as legit as possible, and you won't have any problems. So that's an episode of the Crypto Spin Through podcast. Like, share, do whatever. Spread the word of the podcast. Interact in the Steam It post or Facebook or whatever. Follow me on my personal Twitter. Do what you want. Just come and listen to the show next week. And I'll see you then.